Oh. Right, we're going to have another go. It's now a little bit later and it is in fact night, and you can tell that it's night time because the bricks in the building have started to release all that heat from the day, and now I'm sweating. Oh, and I'm starting to feel it again. Oh, but we're gonna go through the Milkan George Bartlett toilet bottles now. Oh. And thankfully it might be a bit quieter now because Milkan and Furrmium have vamoosed. I think Milkan's probably gone to rest and Furrmium may well be around, but I've got to have a drink because I'm starting to feel it. You know, the usual daily shit is taking a bit longer today, but yes, we're gonna try and do Milkan George Bartlett's outside toilet finds, which is basically I've been there quite a few times over the years, probably 4 or 5 times, and this last time I've probably found all that I can find under the surface now. Here she comes, here comes trouble. Let's hope she don't break nothing. Anyway, what have we got? Oh, Deco Milk Bottles. The thing is, a lot of these you couldn't really see the detail on them because they were painted. And I've got to group them up. There's 3 of them. We've got, I can see what they are. Here come the two terrible twosome. Very good, very good. Right, we've got various, and I think one of them was a bit too damaged. Oh! Thank you. Oh. We've got various, mainly milk bottles though. So let's get started, shall we? Get down. Get down. Get down. Cats, eh? Yeah, cats. Right, let's go. We'll start with Art Deco half-pint milk bottle, and it's moulded, machine made, I should imagine. Half-pint size. Underneath is a bit of a blister. FGC, I can't remember what that is, Forster something or other. Yeah, FGC, so that's very much the same as UGB, which is basically 1920s and 30s or onwards. I'm pretty sure that they go beyond the 1930s, 40s, 50s. It is a little bit on the sick side inside. The ground was obviously acid. It's sand and pebbles, and obviously it's been underground. The outside is fine, but it's the inside that's been affected. But it is Ockley Manor Farm Dairy, South Croydon, and this was South End Croydon. And this is the half pint size basically. Deco Milk, it looks a lot bigger in because it's so close up, but it's actually a small half pint bottle, pure Art Deco style bottle from South Croydon, Ockley Manor Farm Dairy, South Croydon. The join goes all the way up, so machine made obviously. We're now putting them on top of the filing cabinet. As well as me swigging water and having sore around the back of my head, but it's that time of day, isn't it? They're cranking it up. Right, we've got this milk bottle, just R92 underneath, 2 big blisters, developing crack blister. There's quite a few of them, but it hasn't exploded yet. It probably will if I try to wash it again. But being painted, you can't really see what was on them, but turn it round. TMJ. So that would have been direct from, very hard to see, direct from T&J Marden, Lamb's Farm, Keston, and there's a cow on it as well. It's the light, direct from our farm, T&J Marden, Lamb's Farm, Keston. It's basically Coney Hall, and a cow. Phone, Biggin Hill. I don't know, Phone Biggin Hill something. It just looks like 25 to be honest. But you can't really see in the camera what's on it, but it is Marden, TJ Marden, and I've found one before. I think I found a pint probably at Keston at some point. Hopefully I won't have to keep doing all that stuff. We have no less than 1, 2, 3 half pint size milks. Oh my god, is that, it can't be blank. No, it's not blank, but it's painted, and underneath it's very, very, very slight indeed. And that one is similar. Underneath we have H. King and Son from Dulwich, London, R12. So these are actually made in Dulwich in London. And we'll go for this one because this one has the best visual of what was on the front. And we have Ockley Manor Farm Dairy, 365 Brighton Road, South Croydon, 365 Brighton Road. Pure milk from our dairy farms. Please rinse and return daily. But unfortunately you can't really see in the camera how it's all laid out on the bottom. It's basically all in a circle. The Ockley Manor Farm Dairy, South Croydon, Brighton Road, South Croydon, is all in a circle and the rest is in the middle. But this is the best one. If I had better eyes now on my Posca pens, I've done it before, I've literally repainted the bottle and then put fixative on, but I don't think I could do that now. And of course you've got chevrons on the top. They're all from Dulwich Kings in Dulwich. W King in Dulwich, I think it is. But this is definitely the one with the better markings on it. It's not acid etched, it's just, it's more prominent. But I don't think you can see it. I'm pretty sure you can't see it. I don't know, maybe you can just see it. Yeah, look, you can just about see signs of what used to be painted. It's like almost like a acid etch, but not quite. And this is a full pint of the same. So Ockley Manor Farm Dairy, South Croydon. And again we've got King and Son, Dulwich, London, East Dulwich, London R. And again, that's pretty good. If my eyes were better, I might have been able to paint a couple up. So this is a full pint. So you've got a full pint, and you've got the half pint, and they've both got the faint circular signs, all the lettering on the front, basically. And these are all fine. The last time I was at Milkan George Bartlett's outside toilet, we also found, and this was a first for me because the last couple of times I went down there, not necessarily Milkan George Bartlett's toilet, but I was a little bit further over on the slopes, and I was finding lots of these smaller sized ones, these smaller sized Art Deco style Ockley Manor Farm. I was finding all the small ones, but this time I finally, because I found a broken one before, finally found complete pint of the Art Deco Ockley Manor Farm Dairy. And it's got a bit of two little blisters up the top, one on the lip, tiny little one, and there's a bit of a U-shaped crack here in the base. But this kind of milk bottle, even the last time I was finding very few pints that were complete, but just such a good form, such a good shape. And this is the pint version, Art Deco style, Ockley Manor Farm Dairy, South Croydon. Very nice, very nice. And we've got another one, so we've got two of those. This one is slightly sicker inside, but it's pretty much mint outside. No blisters, chips or anything like that. Needs one of them long buffers, like an electric buffing machine with the buffer at the end, and you get the polish and you polish it inside. But heat might be an issue. You're trying to polish something like this and it overheats, it might crack. I don't have one of them. I know my late uncle Bill Moore, Wacko, William Moore, he used to have one in the basement in Broad Green. But another one, much better condition, although inside it's a bit marked up and sick. No chips or blisters. Lovely Art Deco milk bottle. Date of these, probably we're looking at 1930s. I'd say we're looking at 1930s, maybe a little bit earlier. Right, my favourite one that I found, and you probably gathered it by the video, this is the one that was sticking out like that right at the beginning, and I pulled it. Again, Brighton Road, South Croydon, and this is J. Hayward, South Croydon, and this one is acid etched on the back. Please rinse and return. Underneath, UGB, United Glass Bottles, B127C4, and I know I found them markings before in different bottles, but yes, again, brilliant condition. A little bit of sickness internally, not much, less than that Art Deco one, but classic. Again, the markings is classic Art Deco, but acid etch, and I think that's definitely my favourite anyway. But it's new. I'd never seen this until that day. I found others before. I found another, I think it was a half pint, and it came from Conduit Lane. Get down! Disaster! Conduit Lane, I can't remember the name, but that was Essex etched. Very much more basic and rough. I'll have to try and hunt that one out, but that was literally found at the side of the road down the slope. Anyway, you can see that a lot better, but I couldn't find any information online. Of course, all of this is lost history now, and for the last 10 years or so, Google has been absolutely useless and pathetic for finding anything historical, because they're basically trying to erase and destroy history, aren't they? But J. Hayward, Brighton Road, Croydon, big Croydon at the bottom there. Another pint. But again, can we date the bottles? I mean, that site at Milkan George Bartlett's toilet, which is basically a surface or just under the surface slip of bottles, there were items there that there's signs going from the end of the First World War. I may even have found a World War One soldier's canteen, and it just fell to pieces. It was the entire shape, but it was so brittle it just fell to pieces. And even old remnants of the German or even Dutch seltzer, water seltzer, mineral water seltzer, I found that as well, but only fragments. Tiny little signs of earlier stuff that may have been Victorian to, I'm saying Edwardian, probably 1910 to 1918. But can we date the majority of the bottles? I don't know, possibly. There were two more. This one, not sure of the date. Underneath there's nothing there. It's a bit concave, it's small. E, C and Co. I have no idea what E and C and Co is, but the top, what's the join does go all the way up to the top, but oddly the top is burst top. It's actually open, it's burst, they call it burst top. So EC and Co. There's a join line all the way to the top, but you look at it, look at the top of that, it's burst, which is more old style. So maybe the joint to the top does go back earlier. Maybe this could be late 18s to the 20s. I don't know. I don't really know how I can age something like that. That could well be a slightly earlier bottle. We also have this, and I'm sure I found one of these before, maybe at Red Robin, and it's quite long, it's tall, the join, the seems to disappear at the shoulder, looks like a tall top as they call it, but it's very long and thin cylinder. And some of you that are watching it also do bottle digging, you might be able to tell me what was in it. I should imagine it was corked, or may have had a pipette or something like that, a brush, I'm not sure. Maybe something that you stick a primitive needle into, I don't know, but underneath it's got a cross. Underneath there's literally a cross, like an X. I'm pretty sure that I've found one of these before. Again, I'm not really sure what it is, but I'm thinking it's something a little bit more special. But no, I'm not really sure what it is. It's a nice tall little bottle, that. And we've got this. This was found with the little ones, they're pretty much all together, and this is a internal screw. The top looks applied, the join goes up to the applied top, there's a little chip on the middle there, and it's got R white on it, but it's straight. It's a straight R white, it's basic R white. It's quite a nice colour, nice sea green R white. But underneath it's got R white registered. It's not in a cross, it's just lengthways and registered. So, and I'm pretty sure that I found one of these, dug one of these up at Red Robin bottle tip. So I'm putting this at early 30s and late 20s, because earlier than that, in the 20s, the R white would curve, and the older you get in the R white bottles, that curve would be more pronounced, and the embossing was much stiffer and prominent. This is just straight across, and underneath it's just R white across and registered. So this is a more recent one, still a good shape, a good colour. Yeah, so this is probably, I'm saying, early 1930s, 30, 31, maybe very late 20s, 29, something like that. So does that date the bottles? It could date the bottles. I don't want you up here, but just the style is Art Deco, and that puts you in the 20s and 30s. And I think that's about it, really. Again, rather like the Biggin Hill selection of bottles, can't really put a definite digit number date to it. But these are I'm thinking these are very slightly later than the Big and Hill ones. These ones from Milkan George's outside toilet. But yeah, I'm saying that these are probably early 1930s to late 20s. Maybe with the odd earlier bottle, the smaller ones maybe are slightly earlier off the shelf. And I think we're going to end it there. Unless we show these three here, which my half brother picked up a while back, and he brought them round to me. Blob top, W. Elliot, W.E. Rugby, and it's got W.E. underneath. It's quite a nice shape, that. No, that's quite nice. I do like that, especially this, because it's quite dumpy. But I'm not sure what W. Elliot Rugby is. I have to look it up, whether it's a beer or a seltzer. It might be a water seltzer, to be honest. We know what this is, don't we? My nemesis. Yeah, you know what that sound is. A cod bottle. Something that I've never dug up complete. I've got everything else in my collection but one of these. But then I do live in the south, in London, South London, and you're just wasting your time around here. You need to be in the Midlands, you need to be in Scotland to find these babies. Not round here, mate, no. But this is one that my half brother came up with, and he gave it to me. It's rather sick outside. That could probably be buffed out in some way. Maybe it won't, I don't know, but it's a bit on the sick side. But it's T. Dawson pure aerated waters settle. So I wonder who dug this one up. Settle to Carlisle. It's probably North England or Scotland. I'm not exactly sure what settle is, but yes, it's a cod. I'll probably never dig one up myself, especially when I'm on my own and so low energy, and I'm basically on the surface or just under the surface, so there's nothing on the back of it. T. Dawson settle. Dawson's. And we've got this ginger beer, again one that my half brother came up with, and it's Packham & Co. Croydon. Now I don't have a Packham, there's 4 of them, and I found out there's another Sicily ginger beer, but there's Old White, Packham, W. Sharp & Co. and there's another one, I can't remember the name now. It's got I think it's got a camel on it. Don't remember the name of that company now, but there are 4 in Croydon, the main ones. There may be others that are rarer, plus Sicily from Brighton Road near West Croydon. Salt glazed ginger beer, Packham. Is a bit of damage as a chip on the bottom and the top, but the top one might actually be made in the making, and then Packham on the top as well. And I think that's about it. That's about all the time we got, and that was the bottles